Hello there and welcome back to my YouTube channel. James here as ever for today's video, all about the management accounting. That's the MA or F2 paper, where I'm going to walk and talk you through in this video a key free resource available to you on ACCA's website, where we'll be going through the syllabus and study guide. If this is the first time you've clicked on one of my videos, hello, my name is James. I'm an ACCA qualified member from the UK, and on my channel I help out ACCA and accounting students and professionals pass their upcoming examinations, sharing my insights and experience. So if you'd like access to all my free resources, all you need to do is click the subscribe button below so you get updates of all my new free videos that come out. And if you've got any questions, feel free to leave me a comment at the bottom throughout the video as I answer them all, and I dedicate all my videos to my lovely subscribers. And today is no different. As you can see in the middle on here now, Early Karma, thank you so much for your comment asking to please do a video for F2 and F3. So for those of you who aren't aware, management accounting was formerly known as the F2 paper, and Early Karma successfully passed their actual business and technology paper beforehand, so well done on that, and hence we're doing this video to help get you through this one as well. So I really hope the tips help, and be sure to give the video a massive like and thumbs up below. I really appreciate the support as ever, that the videos help out so many students around the world, so be sure to share this as well with any of your friends to help them out. Now, as you can see on the screen, it goes up to August 2022 on here, but don't panic if you are watching this after August 2022, because I'm going to show you on the screen now where the updates are in the actual syllabus. But to be honest with you, with a management accounting, there really aren't that many. So if you go down to the summary at the bottom, it breaks it down here for the actual syllabus content, what was changed, and as you can see on here, it was really about the sort of learning outcomes and what was being sort of reworded. So nothing really too different to what has been tested in the past. But I can hear you saying to me now, come on James, I mean, this is the document, I mean, what's this video all about? Where's your sort of insights and help on this? Would I let you down? Well, this is my actual syllabus and study guide analysis, picking out all of the key elements, so make sure you stay to the end, get a pen and paper at the ready, and I'm just going to walk and talk you through all of those key elements that you need to be aware of ahead of your actual management accounting exam. We touched on it earlier that it was formerly known as the F2 paper, so just to be aware of in case you see any other videos or using any other sort of old text. But on average for this actual exam, it has a 66% pass rate for it. So what that means is for every 3 students that turn up to do it, 2 of them will pass. It's 2 in 3 on the pass rate, and it's really key you fundamentally understand all of the syllabus because it links into your performance management paper further on in your ACCA journey, also known as the F5 paper. So take some of the concepts from this, save all your notes as well, because they'll definitely be applied in future exams on your actual ACCA journey going through all the exams. Now, firstly, coming on to the intellectual levels now, and this is really the fundamentals of what knowledge areas and what skills areas are you going to have to actually demonstrate in this exam. And the knowledge is broken down into key syllabus facts and reading that you need to be aware of, whereas the skill-based questions that you'll be asked on are more application-based. And this is really nicely broken down in this document for you to go through and analyse again, but I've broken it down there, so if you go down to pages 8 to 14, I'll show you where the knowledge and skills are actually found on here. So describe the situations where the use of process costing would be appropriate. That is a skill area of the actual module. Whereas on here you can see all the little S's and K's where cost management techniques is a knowledge base. And these can be found in the detailed study guide, which we'll be coming on to later on. But coming back up to on here, so we've covered through the intellectual levels. But now onto the actual learning hours and education recognition, and all in all on there, it's all about sort of working smarter and not harder, which is what I really promote on the channel, so that you can gain all my tips and tricks and all the sort of insights on the channel. So like I said before, make sure you check them out after this video. I've got plenty of other videos to help you pass management accounting. Because in terms of the actual overall structure, this is actually part of the ACCA diploma. So you are here doing your management accounting. It should be your second exam, I recommend anyway, with business and technology being the first. And I'll be honest, if you're new to accounting overall, you can get through business technology, I think, okay, but then when it gets onto management accounting, financial accounting, and the professionalism, you've really got to get your head down and really understand the context. Now, guidance for the actual exam structure, and again, if you're completely new to this, you've got to be able to understand that you've got 100% of all the questions are compulsory, and they can test absolutely anything on the syllabus. It's a 2-hour examination with a 50% pass rate. Pass mark. 66% pass rate, 50% pass mark. So from the 100 marks, you need to get 50 to pass. But again, check out the other tips on my channel as well. I've done videos on how to pass on there, and loads of students have used the techniques to get them through this exam. As we touched on earlier, they can actually exam anything contained within the study guide. I mean, there'll be lots of students who don't even look at the study guide, but it's just to reiterate again, you can't question spot to say this question will definitely come up, because they can test absolutely everything from the smallest details to the broadest topics. And the other final interesting thing on here was, if there are any changes to any legislation in the future, then this will take effect from the 1st of September. So just to be aware of, but I've already showed you anyway where all the details would be changed at the bottom of the document to keep it nice and simple. So coming on to further, more sort of detailed bits on here, and this is where you can actually picture where the management accounting fits in overall for your ACCA qualification. And this is where we talked about it before, how it links into the PM, the performance management exam. So there's management accounting there, and it will flow into performance management later on. So if you make sure you save your notes, they will be definitely helpful. And as we touched on before, this should be your second ACCA exam. Now, breaking down the actual approach to the examining syllabus, and we've got 2 sections in the exam, Section A and Section B. And Section A contains 35 2-mark objective test questions, whereas Section B contains 3 10-mark multi-task questions on there. So that's the sort of breakdown for the timings, with 84 minutes for Section A as a rough guideline and 36 minutes for Section B. Now, if you'd like my actual exam time strategy, what I would be implementing for this exam, if you head over to my channel, I've got a video about how to pass this examination, and the time strategy is broken down for you on there. So put it down in your notes to check out that video after this. The external examiner in this paragraph again has highlighted that questions can assess all parts of the syllabus and test knowledge and comprehension or application. So I've answered from my notes on there, you have been warned again. But again, there is another key point on here which so many ACCA students will overlook, that the external examiner tells us in the study guide that Section B, the hardest part of the exam, is going to have and be based on 3 key areas of the syllabus, and that's budgeting, standard costing, and performance measurement. So these are the tougher questions that you need to really focus in on. And when they talked about budgeting here in point 1, they went into a bit more detail here that forecasting techniques and spreadsheets could be included and tested as well. So make sure you're doing some of the practice questions. And if you'd like access to some of the up-to-date books that I recommend with discounts, just click the links in the description of this video and you'll get all the offers down there as well. We touched on earlier that the exam is 2 hours long, and I'm sure you're thinking, where did this 1.2 come from up here? Well, you got 120 minutes for 100 marks, so hence you got 1.2 minutes per mark. So 70 marks times by 1.2, 84 minutes, and then 30 marks times by 1.2 to give you 36 minutes. So make sure you've got down the actual points on there and where they're going to be assessed in the syllabus. We'll be coming on to that later on into the video. But the overall aim of the syllabus, and this is where you get more familiar now with some of the key management accounting terms, such as on here, planning, controlling, monitoring performance. And when you're going through some of the computer-based examinations, this is where you need to recognize which element of that, planning, controlling, monitoring, am I currently being tested on. Good keywords to get noted down going away from this actual recording. Now coming on to the introduction to the syllabus now, and there are diagrams below, so we'll see it in a second how it all flows, but this is just everything underlined here if you want to get it written down in your notes, that you'll see these within your actual core text and you're more than likely going to see them in your exam. So these are the keywords, everything from cost accounting, techniques, these are all built into the syllabus. What I'm going to show you further down here now. And as you can see on here, let's see if we can get it on one page. Oh, look at that, perfect. So that A there is that A there, there's B, there's B. So if you're completely new to management accounting, this is where that you can see that you say to yourself, well, how does budgeting fit into this actual exam? Well, it links into the standard costing, the cost accounting techniques, and the data analysis and statistical techniques on there. But now I can hear you saying, well, how is that broken down in more detail? What should I expect to see in budgeting, for example? And this is where I probably should have put a note at the top here, but make sure you get it down in yours, that if I was you, I'd print out this page here for the overall syllabus. And what I've done here for you is I've highlighted, say, part A here for the nature, source and purpose of management information is the nature, source and purpose of management information. So it all reconciles in so you know where to find it. But what it's saying to you there is, well, these are the 4 key areas that you could be tested on in that for the purpose of management information. So you've got sources of data, cost classification, and it's nicely broken down into the key areas from A to F. But I hear what you say is we've already slightly touched on it before, that we've got, this is the normal syllabus overview, that you could check them off one by one. But then we've also got a detailed syllabus now, or syllabus guide. So that accounting for management on here, if you go into the detailed study guide, so there's accounting for management, and then it will list for you all of the key areas that you could possibly be tested for that particular area. So with it being a detailed study guide, as you would expect, there are a variety of different areas, and I've put on these little red lines on here to say that is the cut-off for syllabus area A, because what can happen, I'll show you as you go through, you get sort of a cut-off here with cost accounting, that these here on the right hand side, so this is all syllabus area C, and then it goes back to the top again on there. So just be aware of, so that you don't overlap them with other different areas of the syllabus, in the same way that budgeting here, C, D, and then this is the end of D here, how it links on. Okay, so that is your overall detailed syllabus, really helpful tool. If I was in your position, I'd be going through that detailed tool probably three weeks before your exam, checking them off, going through them one by one, and then saying to yourself, how confident am I on them? And if you're not confident, go back and do some past paper questions and refer back to your overall core text. We touched on earlier about the summary of changes, so on here I've put nothing too major, and I wouldn't expect anything past 2022 to be particularly too major as well on there, so happy days for you. And I thought, wow, for the video as well, and for early karma, some final little management accounting top tips to help you pass. And the fundamental areas where people will fail this exam is the time management aspect of going on to the different sections of the paper and then making time to go back and check your answers is really key. But as we touched on earlier in the video, if you watch the How to Pass video for it on the channel, you're going to be in a really good stead to be in the 66% that pass this exam. Read and understand the requirement to avoid silly mistakes is because it's very much multiple choice. A computer marks the questions, so if you've ticked the wrong box or inputted the wrong figure, you don't get the marks for it. So silly mistakes are a common factor, again, why ACCA students fail this exam. The CBE and question practice to time is crucial. Lots of students run out of time, they rush to the end, and also on there, make sure you've had a go at the computer-based examinations available on ACCA's website. I'd be doing as much question practice as possible. If you are new to accounting, as we touched on before, getting into management accounting, not being from an accounting background, is really, really tough. So good ways to get around this are actually trying to picture what you're actually reading about to an industry or a workplace that you've previously worked at or currently work at, so that you can actually apply it, and that makes it a lot more easier to understand versus just reading it paragraph by paragraph. Because finally on here, covering the whole syllabus is absolutely fundamental to pass this exam, because you can't question spot. They can go on to absolutely anything on this. And also I'd get down in your notes, that if I was sitting the exam myself and I was in your shoes, I'd expect to have things on that exam that I really didn't know on there, because it's just so vast, and I've seen questions that are so specific. It's just so that you don't get thrown off in the exam, so that when you come across questions that you will know how to do, you're going to nail those marks and you're going to get it down to a T on there. So covering the whole syllabus is absolutely fundamental. And that nicely brings us short and sweet to the end of the syllabus and study guide analysis. So if you have found the video helpful, be sure to give it a big like and thumbs up below. Thank you so much for the support to the channel as ever. I really appreciate it. And be sure to share this video with any study buddies or friends that could use it in their actual revision to help them out. And finally on there for early karma, thank you for the comment, but if you've got any other questions or ACCA related queries, or just to let me know what you thought of the video or how you got on the exam, leave me a comment at the bottom. I answer them all, and it's so pleasing to hear how the actual notes help you out to pass your examinations on there. Well, the final thing I can say is best of luck with your exam, however you get on with it, whatever time of year you're doing this. As a final treat, I've left a couple of videos at the end. Make sure you click on one of them. There could be the difference in getting those extra few marks to get you over the line and to get you that 50 plus that you need to pass this exam. But as always on that bombshell, I'll see you next time. Cheers.